yet another edition of this talk show wherein we invite people who have managed to become big shots in their respective lives and we try to know about their journey. So today we have Neha Jha with us, who is the teacher of English language at Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, which is situated in Munger. So today we will try to learn about Neha Madam's journey. Madam has a bachelor's and a master's degree in English literature along with a B.Ed as well. So before I begin this conversation, first let me welcome Neha Jha. How are you, madam? Welcome to this particular talk show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. And how are you, Tanay?
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks for asking. I too am good. So, madam, I have received 4 5 questions that I have ready for you. So, I will begin with the first question that I have on my computer screen for you. So, the first question is that please tell the viewers about your journey and why did you opt for English literature in particular and what made you carve out a niche for yourself in the field of teaching. Over to you, madam.
Okay. Yes. My journey starts from a small village in Madhubani district,
All right.
and I did my schooling from there, and then intermediate also from there itself, and then graduation and PG from LNMU Darbhanga, and B.Ed also from there in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I started searching for jobs for as a teacher, and then I worked for Indirapuram Public School in Patna, in Danapur itself is there.
All right.
And then I worked for some months in Army Public School, Danapur Kent. And
Okay.
meanwhile, uh, I sat for the exam for NVS
Mm-hmm.
and got selected for this also. And right now, I am posted here in JNV Munger. And
Okay.
about opting this subject, I should, if being honest, I should tell you that it was not my choice. It was,
Mm.
in fact, my father's choice. He wanted me to study English. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
as a child,
Mm-hmm.
being a government school student in Bihar, we
Mm-hmm.
were very we were scared of English. Like we were never exposed to English. We
Right.
were taught English. We had started learning English from standard 6, and that also, this is a cat, that is a dog. So
Right.
this we
Right.
had started from standard 6. So I could never think of having English as my main subject, but
Mm.
it was my first desire, and I just followed it, and I wanted to fulfill his desire. So I opted for this subject, and now I think he was right in
Right.
choosing my subject for me.
Right. So I agree with you. And in Bihar, I know that English is quite intimidating for a lot of students. And even those students who opt for English literature in their graduation, they too remain confused even before taking admission in this particular course, and they remain confused throughout the course. So you have explained it
Yes.
quite perfectly. And now I'll move to the second question that I have for you. So, according to you, and this is much like a follow-up question, according to you, how significant a role does the discipline of English literature or English language play in the respective lives of those who study it? So, what's your take on this, madam? Please share some information.
Yes. And I see. I think literature, I'm not talking about a particular language.
Mm-hmm.
Literature itself is something which, you know, has a beautiful effect on your life. It beautifies your life thoroughly. Like in every aspect, you become a beautiful person. As a human being, you change.
Right,
So not only for English literature, but for all the languages, and literature is there in all the languages,
right,
and the same is there with English literature also.
mm-hmm.
You start knowing people more, and
Right,
compared to your previous life before coming to coming in terms with English, you start knowing people more. You start understanding people's emotions more
right.
than ever. So it beautifies our life in every aspect, I believe.
Right. And So speaking of this, you will get to know people better line. Actually, I have heard this from a student of psychology as well. So when I asked her that why did you take psychology, so she was like, you will get to know people in a better manner. You will learn about their emotions. So do you think that psychology and English literature or any literature in particular has this particular similarity? What's your take on this? Do you think
Yes,
that this particular thing is similar in psychology and in literature?
I I don't I will not tell you about similarity, but
Hmm.
I'm sure that literature has everything in it which we can study in any language. It has everything in this.
Okay.
About, you see, it is a part of humanities. We call it a part of humanities. So
Right, right. It's a
everything
part of humanities and liberal
related to
arts.
human, yes. So it has everything which is related to humans.
Mhm.
Everything is there in literature.
Right,
All the types of emotions. If you have hatred, if you have love, if you have anger, if you have happiness, everything is there. And psychology is what it is, the study of our mind, and mind is related to all the emotions in our lives. So I
right,
think yes, they are related.
right. Very beautiful answer. Very beautiful answer. And so I have heard that a few people say that literature and language, these two are separate things, these two are different things. Would you like to say something about it? Because this question just crossed my mind. Do you think that English language is different and literature is different, or do you treat them both as same one thing? What would you like to say on this particular question?
No, I think language and literature, uh, they are they cannot be same, and they cannot be even different,
Right.
because without a language you cannot express literature. For
Correct,
literature
correct,
we must have a language, yes.
correct, correct.
But language but language can not be literature. Literature is something, the most beautiful things in life is literature. But
Right.
language can be anything. It can be a slang also, and it
Yes,
can be
yes,
a crying of baby also. It can
yes.
be anything. But
Right.
literature has language in it, but
Mhm.
language cannot have literature in it, I think.
Right,
It is
right.
my
No, no, no.
yes.
That's great. That's great. Just like all terraces are roof, but not all roofs are terraces. Okay, that's like that. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's good. And so I believe, just correct me if I am wrong. I believe that if you want to study literature, you have to be very good in language because in order to understand English literature, your English has to be on a strong footing. Because in Bihar, that's the problem with a lot of students. They're like, okay, I can read English, I can understand English, but if you ask me to communicate in English or express in English, I may fail there. So that's something that intimidates a lot of students. But I believe that if your language is on strong footing, you will be able to excel in literature. Do you think I am right?
See, in my case,
Okay.
it's just opposite, because
Oh,
I just told you that I was scared of English language.
right.
So while studying literature,
Hmm.
I was so overwhelmed that I had to learn language, and language came through literature to me. I did not learn literature through language. I learned language through literature.
Oh.
And I think for literature, you do not need a language as like it is not that important
Hmm.
as your emotions. If you are emotionally a good person, if you are, what should I say? If you are,
If you value
if you love
emotions,
literature
okay,
from the inside,
right.
language will come to you in any way. It will come to you. I think
No, no, you are
opposite.
right. You're pretty much right. Okay, that's a very satisfactory answer. Now I will move to my third question. I have already asked a lot of follow-up questions. So now let's move to the third question, which is in Bihar, a lot of students who enroll themselves for the course of English literature, they remain confused, as I already have mentioned. So please say something to them through our talk show. Give them some what we call honest advice and help them understand the benefits as well as the shortcomings of this particular discipline, because we have had people who talked about the benefits, but when it came to speaking about the shortcomings, they probably they were not aware of the shortcomings. So I don't know what was the exact reason they could not deliver the shortcomings properly. So madam, over to you. Please say something about it.
Okay, then see, the first, we should go to the root cause of confusion. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing, as I just told you, and all of us know, that it is a part of this English language or any literature, is a part of humanities, or we call it in Bihar arts, uh,
Right.
BA or MA. So listening to that particular word arts is very, disrespectful for people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think they don't allow their children to study arts because they think they will not get proper like if they will not have a good career if they study literature, or people will think, you know they will not give that much respect to the people who are studying art. Even in my life, my relatives, like who are studying right now, they ask me, uh, Chachi, are you a student of science? No, I am student of arts. Then how can you speak so good English? Like how can you speak English in this way? They are not able to believe this, that even arts students can do something in life. And this is in our society. This is common in our society. So this is the time. First thing, we have to change the thought process
Mm-hmm.
that even art students have their own career in. They can have great things in life, and there I think the half of the battle is won. If you have thought of uh, taking this literature part, then whatever you are doing, you have to have faith in yourself.
Correct.
Confusion arises if you are not sure what you are doing, if you are
Mm-hmm.
not sure of what you are doing. Then, if you have not faith in yourself, if you are not confident, then that is the main root cause of your confusion. So, first of all, we have to, decide it strictly or confidently that we are going to take English literature.